A rooftop garden gleams deceptively under the soft, filtered light of gentle breezes usually carry the scent of sweet blossoms across the serene urban landscape. Today, an uneasy tension hangs heavy, a silent discord in the otherwise perfect air. A resident, seeking solace, reaches a cautious hand toward a vibrant, crimson bloom. The delicate petals, usually yielding, now feel rigid, like finely spun wire, surprisingly sharp. A sudden, unexpected prick draws a gasp, a tiny bead of crimson welling on their fingertip. The beautiful flower, once inviting, now defends itself with an unforeseen, painful resistance. Petals begin to detach, not falling gently, but shedding soft, shimmering fur into the quiet air. This strange, silvery down drifts, settling on skin, creating an immediate, persistent itching sensation. The itch feels deep, unsettlingly familiar, like an old, unspoken guilt, manifesting physically. A subtle unease permeates the garden, a growing sense that something is profoundly amiss here. The rooftop wind, usually a playful whisper, now carries faint, almost imperceptible human confessions. These ethereal murmurs, barely audible, weave through the rustling leaves, creating a haunting chorus. Unseen voices confess past transgressions, their forgotten words carried on the unsettling, shifting currents. The garden, once a sanctuary, now feels like a silent, accusing witness to hidden human frailties. The FluffTown crew arrives, their expressions etched with concern, sensing the garden's distress. Moss, the botanist, approaches the plants with a gentle reverence, her touch instinctively understanding. She observes the unusual fur, the hardened petals, a deep frown creasing her thoughtful brow. Her sensitive fingers brush against the plant stem, feeling a vibrant, agitated pulse beneath the surface. Moss senses the garden's fear, its desperate, silent plea echoing within her empathetic spirit. She identifies the plant cells reacting intensely to elevated stress hormones, saturating the ambient air. The very atmosphere of FluffTown seems to be poisoning its beautiful, living ornamentation. These hormones, invisible to others, are like a toxic fog to the delicate, sensitive flora. Moss realizes the garden is mirroring the town's collective anxieties, its hidden, festering worries. The plants are not merely wilting. They are hardening, evolving a defensive, painful, new nature. Their softness, once a hallmark of FluffTown, is transforming into a dangerous, protective armor. She collects samples of the strange fur, examining them under a portable, glowing microscope lens. The microscopic fibers reveal intricate, barbed structures designed for clinging and causing irritation. Each filament seems to carry a silent, resonant echo of unspoken resentment and suppressed frustration. Luma, the engineer, focuses her keen attention on the garden's intricate irrigation system, ever logical. She traces the winding pipes, her diagnostic tools scanning for any anomalies in the water flow. Her device beeps softly, indicating an unusual molecular density within the circulating liquid. Luma finds the irrigation system spiked with peculiar additives, substances not typically used for growth. These foreign compounds, dark and viscous, are subtly altering the water's natural, life-giving properties. A quick chemical analysis reveals traces of Foundation-specific catalysts, disturbing her calm demeanor. The Foundation, a shadowy presence, seems to be actively manipulating even the town's living elements. Its insidious influence seeps into every corner, every system, every seemingly innocuous detail. Luma confirms the additives are designed to amplify the plant's reactive properties, not nourish them. The plants are being weaponized, their natural beauty twisted into a mechanism of control and punishment. She notes the precise, calculated dosage, a chilling testament to the Foundation's methodical malice. The water, once pure, now carries a hidden agenda, a silent, corrosive programming for the garden. Luma feels a cold dread, understanding the deeper implications of this calculated biological interference. Pox, the structural expert, meticulously inspects the rooftop itself, searching for any underlying weaknesses. His specialized scanner hums, revealing subtle shifts in the concrete, hairline fractures spreading silently. He notices an unsettling correlation. Thorns are forming precisely along these structural cracks and fissures. The plants seem to be actively seeking out and exploiting the rooftop's inherent, hidden vulnerabilities. Each thorn, sharp and dark, pierces into the masonry like tiny, living anchors of destructive intent. Pox observes how the thorns appear to target these weaknesses with an almost intelligent precision. The garden is not merely reacting. It is actively engaging with the town's structural integrity. Its defensive growth is becoming an offensive assault, threatening the very foundations of the building. He runs his gloved hand over a particularly dense cluster of thorns, feeling their unnatural rigidity. The sharpness is formidable, capable of significant damage, far beyond any ordinary botanical defense. Pox understands this isn't just a plant problem. It's a symptom of a deeper, systemic decay. The thorns are like tiny, organic probes, testing the limits of FluffTown's seemingly robust construction. He maps the thorn formations, noting their geometric patterns, a disturbing mimicry of structural stress points. The garden seems to be communicating, silently highlighting the town's neglected and hidden Pox feels a creeping unease, recognizing this pattern from other foundation-influenced anomalies. The entire rooftop, once a place of vibrant life, now feels like a living diagram of vulnerability. He considers the implications. If the garden can exploit structural flaws, what else can the foundation manipulate? The insidious nature of FluffTown's underlying control becomes clearer, more chilling with every discovery. The plants are not merely turning against residents, they are turning against the town itself. Piece by piece, Moss works diligently, analyzing the fur, her brow furrowed in concentration, seeking a botanical countermeasure. Luma calibrates her scanners, her movements precise, determined to expose the full extent of the additives. Pox systematically records the structural damage, his expression grim, documenting every new, alarming detail. The air in the garden grows heavier, laden with the metallic temps of hidden chemicals and unspoken fears. A faint, shimmering haze rises from the thorns, almost imperceptible, yet adding to the oppressive atmosphere. The crew exchanges worried glances, each silently acknowledging the escalating, complex nature of this repair. This is not simply a garden gone wild. It is a manifestation of FluffTown's collective, unaddressed trauma. The plants are a living barometer, reflecting the town's deepest, most guarded secrets and anxieties. They represent a silent scream from the very fabric of FluffTown, a desperate, thorny warning. The sun, usually bright, seems to cast longer, darker shadows across the once pristine rooftop. A chill wind whispers through the thorny foliage, carrying the faint, unsettling scent of ozone and regret. The crew moves with a synchronized urgency, their purpose clear amidst the garden's unsettling transformation. Moss prepares her spectrometer, ready to delve deeper into the intricate chemistry of the wolf. Ruma, Tachie, Sie, microsensor to an irrigation pipe, hoping to trace the additive's exact source. Pox carefully removes a small thorn, its tip glinting menacingly, for further material analysis. The garden seems to watch them, its thorny tendrils almost imperceptibly shifting in the dim light. Each movement the crew makes feels observed, scrutinized by the sentient, suffering flora. The confessions carried on the wind grow slightly louder, intertwining with the hum of their tools. Whispers of forgotten promises and broken trusts echo, forming a disquieting, ambient soundtrack. The crew feels the weight of these unspoken burdens, the garden's silent, collective anguish. They understand that healing the plants requires addressing the emotional core of FluffTown's residents. This task transcends mere mechanics. It demands a deeper understanding of the town's hidden pain. The thorns represent fear made manifest, a desperate defense against perceived, unseen threats. The wool, once soft, now symbolizes a comfort turned toxic, a soothing embrace that secretly harms. Moss closes her eyes briefly, connecting with the garden's silent, overwhelming sorrow. Its deep-seated torment. She feels the invisible currents of stress, the pervasive anxiety woven into the very air they breathe. Luma's screen flickers, displaying complex data, charting the insidious spread of the Foundation's influence. Pax notes a new, almost imperceptible tremor in the building's structure, a subtle, growing instability. The garden pulses faintly, a living heart beating with FluffTown's suppressed, aching vulnerability. A singular, delicate vine, previously unnoticed, begins to twitch ominously towards a nearby resident. This resident, standing quietly, harbors a tiny, recent untruth hidden behind a forced, placid smile. The vine's movement is subtle, almost imperceptible, yet deeply unsettling in its precise, silent accusation. It seems to seek out the faint resonance of deception, a silent detector of emotional discord. The garden, an organic lie detector, begins its chilling, silent process of recording every hidden falsehood. A new, sharper thorn emerges from the vine, mirroring the resident's momentary, internal distress. The air crackles with unspoken tension as the garden's subtle, punitive mechanisms activate with growing intensity. Each time a resident within the garden harbors a hidden falsehood, the vines respond with a subtle shift. A faint, almost imperceptible tremor ripples through the foliage, a silent acknowledgement of deceit. The garden becomes a living tapestry of unspoken truths and carefully guarded, secret deceptions. Its tendrils extend, not aggressively, but with an eerie, knowing sensitivity toward the disingenuous. The plants seem to absorb these unsaid words, storing them like a dark, botanical memory bank. Every suppressed thought, every quiet evasion, adds another knot to the garden's intricate, thorny web. The air thickens with the weight of these unacknowledged burdens, a silent, pervasive heaviness. Tick, the sound specialist, adjusts his audio sensors, his brow furrowed in intense concentration. He hears whispered phrases repeating faintly, like a broken, looped apology carried on the gentle breeze. These ethereal voices are indistinct, fragmented echoes of past conversations, lingering like ghosts. They are not new sounds, but rather recordings, replaying moments of regret and hidden confessions. Tick realizes the garden is not just reacting. It is actively storing and replaying emotional data. The plants are a vast, organic archive of FluffTown's collective, unburdened conscience, whispering secrets. He isolates a specific frequency, discerning snippets of a resident's long-forgotten, hushed confession. The words speak of a small, selfish act, a moment of weakness, now amplified by the sentient garden. Tick feels a profound discomfort, realizing the complete lack of privacy within this beautiful, treacherous space. The garden's memory is relentless. Its whispers, a constant reminder of every past transgression. However small, this living record is a cruel form of surveillance, turning nature itself into an instrument of judgment. The repeating apologies create a melancholic drone, a soundtrack to FluffTown's deep-seated anxieties. Moss, observing the garden's reactive behavior, feels a wave of profound sorrow emanating from the plants. She sees the thorns grow sharper with each new lie, the fur thickening with every suppressed emotion. The garden is suffering, forced to bear the heavy weight of human deceit, transforming its essence. Luma's screens display an alarming surge in neural mimicking energy pulses emanating from the foliage. The plants are not simply reacting to stress. They are processing information, learning, and remembering. Pax observes how the thorns now seem to point directly towards areas of emotional distress in the crowd. The garden has become an active participant in FluffTown's psychological landscape, a silent, judging entity. Stitch, usually stoic, watches with an unreadable expression, his hand absently touching his utility belt. He senses a deeper pattern, a calculated design behind the garden's seemingly organic transformation. The crew understands this is more than just a repair. It is an intervention into the town's very soul. Their mission shifts from fixing a system to confronting a manifestation of collective, suppressed truth. The air itself feels charged, thick with the density of unspoken words and accumulating emotional debt. Luma's scanner finally pings, indicating a significant energy anomaly beneath a dense patch of thorny vines. Pox carefully parts the menacing foliage, revealing a section of corroded, aged irrigation pipe. Embedded within the corroded metal is a small, ornate valve previously concealed by the rampant growth. The valve is crudely stamped with the chilling, familiar insignia: Foundation. stark and unmistakable. From a tiny, almost invisible fissure in the valve, a viscous, inky black sap slowly bleeds into the water. This dark fluid, thick and oily, swirls ominously, mixing with the clear irrigation flow, tainting it. The black sap pulsates faintly, almost imperceptibly, with a strange, dark, internal luminescence. Stitch leans closer, his senses alert, detecting a faint, metallic scent mixed with something organic. He collects a small sample of the black sap onto a sterile glass slide. His movements precise. Bringing it close to his nose, he inhales deeply, a flicker of recognition crossing his usually impassive face. "This isn't fertilizer," Stitch murmurs, his voice low, heavy with a grim, unsettling certainty. "It's leverage," he concludes, the word hanging in the air, chilling the already tense atmosphere. The sap, he realizes, is a form of control, a chemical coercion designed to manipulate living systems. It is a dark, insidious debt extracted from the very life force of FluffTown's natural elements. Moss watches the black sap flow, her body trembling, a deep, empathetic shudder passing through her. She feels the garden's excruciating pain as her own, a visceral connection to its forced, unnatural suffering. The sap feels like a violation, a forced corruption of the plant's innocent, gentle essence. Moss senses the garden's desperate struggle, its silent scream against this toxic, controlling infusion. Her connection to the flora is profound, allowing her to perceive their agony as a physical ache. The plants are not merely being fed, they are being enslaved, their natural processes subverted completely. Luma scans the valve, her device registering complex energy signatures far beyond simple irrigation control. The foundation stamp glows faintly under her diagnostic light, an ominous, silent declaration of ownership. Pox examines the surrounding pipes, noting how the black sap has corroded the metal over time. The very infrastructure of the garden is being slowly consumed, weakened by this dark, living substance. Tick records the faint, rhythmic pulse emanating from the valve, a low, unsettling hum of dark energy. He wonders if this pulse is another form of communication, a silent, coded command to the plants. The crew realizes the garden's transformation is not an accident, but a deliberate, calculated act of control. The foundation is using the garden as a weapon, turning beauty into a tool for surveillance and punishment. This discovery solidifies their understanding of FluffTown's deeper, more sinister operational mechanisms. The black sap is a symbol of the town's hidden debt, its unacknowledged costs for manufactured serenity. It represents the price of compliance, the dark trade-off for FluffTown's illusory, superficial peace. The sky above the rooftop garden darkens slightly, mirroring the grim realization dawning on the crew. A cold, metallic scent of the sap now permeates the entire garden, replacing the sweet, floral aromas. The whispers from the plants grow more frantic, more desperate, their collective plea for liberation. Stitch gazes at the foundation stamp, a silent challenge in his eyes, his resolve hardening. Luma begins to formulate a plan, her mind already racing through potential countermeasures and solutions. Pucks considers the structural integrity, understanding the systemic nature of the foundation's corruption. Moss, her face pale, prepares herself for the daunting task of healing the garden's profound, inflicted wounds. The crew stands united, facing the insidious manifestation of FluffTown's dark, controlling influence. Their tools, once used for simple repairs, now feel like instruments of liberation against unseen forces. The garden, a prisoner of the foundation, awaits their intervention, its thorny anguish palpable. The black sap continues its slow, rhythmic bleed, a constant reminder of the pervasive, living debt. A faint, almost imperceptible shimmer radiates from the sap, a dark energy slowly expanding its reach. The air itself seems to thicken, heavy with the oppressive weight of the foundation's unseen presence. The crew prepares for the delicate, crucial work ahead, their determination unwavering despite the grim findings. Luma approaches the irrigation valve, her hands moving with practiced, confident precision. She prepares her flushing tools, ready to purge the toxic sap from the garden's vital arteries. Her diagnostic screen glows with complex schematics, mapping the intricate network of pipes. Luma carefully disengages the foundation valve, a faint hiss escaping as the connection breaks. The flow of black sap immediately diminishes, then ceases, leaving only residual darkness in the pipes. A subtle sigh seems to ripple through the garden, a momentary respite from its enduring torment. Luma then initiates a high-pressure flush, sending a torrent of purified water through the system. Dark, viscous, liquid streams from various outlets, carrying away the lingering traces of the black sap. She then installs custom-designed charcoal ceramic filters, each carefully placed to purify the flow. These filters hum softly, actively neutralizing any remaining foundation additives within the system. The water emerges clear, sparkling, restored to its pristine, life-giving purity. A silent victory. Luma monitors the water quality, her expression softening as the readings return to optimal levels. The irrigation system, once a conduit for corruption, now flows with revitalizing, untainted nourishment. Pax, meanwhile, works diligently to replace the corroded piping, his movements strong and methodical. He carefully removes sections of metal pipe, their surfaces visibly eaten away by the black sap's acidity. In their place, he installs new, non-conductive resin lines, impervious to corrosive influence. These new pipes are sleek, resilient, designed to resist any future attempts at systemic subversion. Pax ensures every connection is secure, every joint sealed, creating an unbreachable barrier. The structural integrity of the irrigation system is not just restored, it is significantly enhanced. He works with a quiet intensity, understanding the importance of fortifying FluffTown's vulnerable points. The garden's lifeblood now flows through pathways designed for purity, not for control or corruption. Pax ensures every connection is secure, every joint sealed, creating an unbreachable barrier. The structural integrity of the irrigation system is not just restored, it is significantly enhanced. He works with a quiet intensity, understanding the importance of fortifying FluffTown's vulnerable points. The garden's lifeblood now flows through pathways designed for purity, not for control or corruption. Moss kneels among the plants, her hands gently sifting through the soil, preparing for her crucial task. She carefully seeds calming, resilient plants, specifically chosen for their unique, absorbent properties. These botanical allies are designed to absorb ambient stress spikes without weaponizing their growth. Their roots will draw an emotional residue, transforming it into nourishing energy, not destructive armor. Moss murmurs soft incantations, a quiet, ancient language, infusing the seeds with healing intent. She envisions a future garden of peace, a sanctuary that transmutes negativity into gentle strength. Her touch is tender, almost reverent, as she entrusts the garden with these new, hopeful protectors. The ground beneath her hands feels warmer, a subtle response to her empathetic, restorative efforts. A faint, verdant glow emanates from the freshly sown seeds, promising a gentle, peaceful resurgence. The air around Moss begins to lighten, the oppressive tension slowly dissipating with each planted seed. The garden, once a place of anguish, now holds the promise of quiet, solace, and profound, natural healing. As the purified water flows and new plants take root, a visible transformation begins across the garden. The sharp, menacing thorns, once rigid and threatening, slowly begin to retract, softening their edges, their dark points dull, receding back into the foliage, losing their aggressive, defensive posture. The harsh, irritating fur, covering the petals lightens, becoming pollen-like, ethereal, and gentle. It drifts on the breeze, no longer causing irritation, but rather a soft, almost imperceptible comfort. The atmosphere within the rooftop garden visibly shifts, a heavy burden lifting from the air itself. The whispered confessions, once a constant, haunting presence, gradually fade into quiet, peaceful silence. The sense of constant surveillance diminishes, replaced by a profound, comforting return of privacy. Residents who had avoided the garden now tentatively step forward, their faces etched with cautious hope. One resident, a woman who carried a particular secret, feels an overwhelming wave of relief wash over her. A single, genuine tear tracks down her cheek, not of sorrow, but of profound, unexpected release. She realizes, with a sudden, liberating clarity, that she can think her own thoughts without immediate punishment. The oppressive weight of the garden's judgment has lifted, allowing for true, internal freedom. Other residents also feel this subtle shift, a quiet lightening of their own emotional burdens. The garden, once a mirror of their fears, now reflects a gentle, burgeoning sense of peace and security. Vibrant, true colors return to the blossoms, no longer dulled by stress or distorted by silent lies. The leaves rustled with a soft, contented sigh, a collective exhalation from the healed, rejuvenated flora. Birds, previously absent, return to the garden, their joyful chirps filling the air with natural melody. Butterflies, with wings of softest velvet, flit gracefully among the now gentle, welcoming blooms. The sun shines brighter, its golden rays bathing the revitalized garden in a warm, forgiving light. A fresh, sweet scent of newly purified blossoms replaces the metallic temps of hidden chemicals. Children, laughing freely, chase each other through the pathways, their innocence reflected in the vibrant foliage. The crew watches, a quiet satisfaction settling over them, witnessing the profound impact of their work. Moss smiles, a rare, genuine expression of joy, feeling the garden's restored equilibrium deep within her. Luma's monitors show stable, healthy readings, confirming the complete eradication of Foundation interference. Pox surveys the robust, revitalized infrastructure, knowing the garden is now truly protected and secure. Tick records the gentle ambient sounds, a harmonious blend of nature, free from whispers of regret. Stitch's gaze lingering on the now peaceful foliage, notices something peculiar amidst the softening leaves. Amidst the retracting thorns, one singular, dark thorn remains, distinct from all the others. It is not organic or natural. Its form is too precise, too deliberate, almost architectural in its design. This unique thorn has hardened completely, transforming into the unmistakable shape of a small, intricate key. The key gleams faintly, its surface a polished obsidian, catching the gentle light with an eerie luminescence. Upon closer inspection, a tiny, familiar emblem is etched into its head, the distinct symbol of their own crew. The precision of the emblem, the unnatural formation, suggests an intelligence far beyond mere botanical chance. It is a deliberate artifact, a message perhaps forged from the garden's distress and the Foundation's influence. Stitch reaches out, his fingers carefully plucking the thorn key from its resting place amidst the leaves. The key feels cold, heavy, surprisingly substantial in his palm, a silent, cryptic enigma. His expression remains unreadable, a mask of quiet contemplation as he studies the strange, new object. He turns it over, examining its smooth, dark facets, searching for any hidden inscription or clue. The key seems to absorb light, creating a tiny, localized shadow, a pocket of deeper mystery. Stitch pockets the thorn key, its presence, a subtle weight against his side, a secret now held close. The garden seems to hold its breath, a silent witness to the emergence of this mysterious, potent artifact. The crew exchanges questioning glances, sensing the deeper significance of this unexpected, final growth. This key is not a solution, but a new puzzle, a tangible link to FluffTown's hidden, complex truths. It represents a path forward, a potential opening to another layer of the Foundation. Essene toe, decay. Stitch feels a faint vibration emanating from the thorn key in his pocket, a subtle, internal hum. He slowly removes it, holding it aloft, its obsidian surface absorbing the ambient light. The key's vibration intensifies, a distinct, resonant thrumming that seems to pull gently forward. It subtly points, with an almost magnetic pull, directly toward the bustling downtown district of a silent, collective gasp escapes the crew as they recognize the key's undeniable, directional intent. This artifact is a compass, guiding them towards a new, unknown destination within the familiar town. Suddenly, Luma's portable recorder from the very first episode clicks on by itself, unbidden. It's small. Red light blinks erratically, a frantic, urgent pulse in the now quiet garden air. The recorder, a silent observer of their journey, now demands their immediate, undivided attention. A single, rhythmic, blinked word begins to manifest on its tiny, glowing display screen. The light pulses forming distinct, decipherable patterns. A silent message from an unseen source. Each blink is deliberate, a slow, methodical revelation of a single, powerful, ominous word. FONTATION. It spells letter by agonizing letter, chilling them to their very core. The word hangs in the air, a stark, undeniable confirmation of the pervasive, insidious enemy. All crew members flinch, a collective shiver of recognition and dread passing through them simultaneously. The name, though often whispered, now blinks with a direct, undeniable, personal implication. The recorder falls silent, its message delivered. Leaving an echoing void in the garden's newfound peace, the thorn key vibrates once more, a final, urgent tremor, reinforcing its silent, ominous direction. The downtown district, usually a beacon of FluffTown's cheer, now feels like a place of imminent discovery. The crew stands transfixed, the key in Stitch's hand, the recorder's message burned into their minds. A vast, unknown door seems to materialize before them, silently waiting for its thorn key to turn. The town's hidden depths beckon, promising answers, yet threatening revelations that could shatter everything. Their journey deepens, leading them toward the sealed pressure valve, where silence is cruelly manufactured. The air itself crackles with anticipation, a silent prelude to the profound, unsettling truth awaiting them. They are unknowingly approaching the heart of FluffTown's control, the source of its manufactured .com. This path promises not just answers, but a confrontation with the very appetite beneath their world. The Foundation's silent breath, long held, now prepares for a terrifying, monumental exhalation. A chilling sense of destiny settles upon them, guiding their steps toward the inevitable, looming confrontation. The thorn key pulses faintly in Stitch's grip, a silent promise of what lies hidden just beyond reach. Their tools, once used for simple mends, now feel like weapons against a deeply entrenched dark power. FluffTown, forever repaired, faces its true test, whether it can truly heal or merely be sedated.